Think I can break it? Oh God. I mean, not bad. This is the coolest thing we've ever reviewed on Headlight Revolution, and if you love America and you got a four-wheeler, you should probably get a set for yours. It doesn't matter if you got a Razor or a Maverick or a Ranger or any of those badass sounding four-wheeler ATV, UTV vehicles. The Profile Pixel Whip Light fits anything. If you don't have a bracket, you can drill a hole. These things are literally universal and can fit anything. They can even go on trucks if you're that adventurous. It's basically a plexiglass tube with an RGB flexible LED strip inside. The problem is there's tons of these for sale all over the place. Amazon, eBay, a whole bunch of name brand sites. And what I wanted to explain is if you go for the Profile Pixel brand, what are you gonna get? The first thing you're gonna notice are these two black brackets that are mounted to the top about 14 inches or so of the light. They are actually a swivel, which is kind of cool, so that your flag can kind of go in all directions. And it's got these bracket hooks that are really easy to open up. And so you can run it without the flag, with this flag. Profile doesn't sell them, but there's actually websites out there that specifically sell replacement flags. So you can kind of get a design that is anything you want. Profile's got the American flag, because that's the coolest, but if you want to go custom, there's a ton of different options, but you can run it with the flag or not. There's probably a way to remove them completely because you've got that flathead set screw, but I think the flag is pretty cool, so for this project, we're gonna leave it on. I turned the light off so you can see inside the tube, and what you have is basically this flat PCB, which holds the LED chips. They're big RGB 50/50 style SMD chips, and you can kind of see every once in a while you've got this dip, and that's not done on accident. Those are done for a very specific reason. There's two reasons. Number one, when the strip is bent like this, it points the LED in a different direction. If you think about what it's like to have this on your vehicle and viewing it from all different angles, you need the light shining in different directions. So it helps with that so that it doesn't look like a barely glowing strip from this angle and a super bright glowing strip from this angle. But that's not the important part. The important part is these things are super flexible. And when it's, you know, doing this, you got to have some give in that strip. So don't think automatically that, you know, it's just done by somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. It's done on purpose. Moving on down, we have the attachment of the plexiglass tube to the aluminum base. You have the indicators here that it uses a Bluetooth controller app and it's RGB. And then down here, you have the mounting post. You have a nut, a crush washer, and a fender washer. And the way that you mount it is real simple. You see here we have this screw-on connection for the power and ground that goes up into the strip and powers it. You take these off, no big deal. And then you got to find a pretty solid mounting point. And so you put the cable through first, not connected to the Bluetooth controller, and then the mounting stud. Then when this is resting on there, you thread first your big washer, and it goes to the top, and then the compression washer, locking washer, and then the nut. And that's what holds it all in place. After this is mounted to the bracket, then you can go ahead and install the wiring. Inside this part of the connector, on the inside there's a little notch, and that lines up with the keyway on the other side of the wire harness. And just kind of go in. If there's any resistance to that at all, it's not lined up correctly. It's possible that those 4 pins inside could get bent, so inspect those to make sure that they aren't pointing weird directions, and just line up your 4 pins and the keyway, and then do your connection like that. Now, just because the connection here for your power between the Bluetooth controller and your LED strip is water resistant and IP rated doesn't mean it's impossible to get water intrusion. And I'm telling you right now, this one connection is going to be the biggest failure point on this one and any other that has a disconnectable power source. What I'd recommend that you do before you finally bring this thing out, it's okay to do all your testing and make sure everything works fine, but before you take it out for the first time, make sure you've got your Morimoto dielectric grease handy. This stuff is specially formulated for protecting your electrical connections on lighting setups from the elements. A lot of people think that this is supposed to get slathered all over the actual metal connections, and that's not true. I'm going to get some close to there, but the real reason for having this is to create a barrier inside the connector to make sure water can't get in. So I'm going to use it in two different places on this connector. And I think it's possible that if I lost the plastic nut, water could seep in there. So I'm going to make a barrier around here so that if water gets past the securing nut, we're safe. And then secondly, I want to make sure that there's another barrier around the outside where this little plastic nut seats. So right here, and luckily I can just use this excess to get a pretty good bead around that connection on the outside. At this point, it's pretty solid. You're not going to get any water in there no matter what. Wipe off the excess and do the same thing for the other side and any other lighting upgrades that you're doing that have detachable wiring like this that's exposed to the elements. When you've got it mounted to the vehicle, wired up to your switch or your battery, and you're ready to test it, it's really easy. Inside the packaging from Profile Performance, you get this instruction sheet, which tells you everything you need to know. Download the app. It works for Android and Apple. Connect it to Bluetooth, and it's a super easy thing to set up. A lot of Bluetooth apps are kind of hard to get going when it comes to RGB lighting, but this one was super simple. It literally connected automatically when I turned Bluetooth on within 30 seconds. I didn't have to do anything. In the app on the main screen, you've got this color dial and color selections. I can play with this and make the light do whatever color I want. Here's blue, here's purple, here's a yellowish green, and I can also pick the presets down here. If I click RGB, it'll go through a slow RGB sequence. It also comes with an audio section where you can add sounds or use the built-in audio. Whatever song you end up playing in your phone will automatically trigger the light to dance to those different beats and different colors. We can also do voice command. Check, test, Headlight Revolution. And then if you go to the style icon, there's a whole bunch of different presets you can choose for different things. Then you can also adjust the speed to your liking. After you have your whip lights installed and you have to remove them for any reason, it's super easy because they have this quick disconnect. Grab the bottom collar, lift it up, and pull the whole thing off. You can use the included rubber caps to cover it up and keep it safe from water intrusion. So when considering LED whip lights for your rig, the Profile Pixel is a great pick. It's really sturdy, it's high quality, it's very bright, easy to install, and the app is a piece of cake. If you want to really see how to light up the night, check out our other videos focusing on LED off-road lighting for the Polaris RZR, Can-Am Maverick, Ranger, and more.